What if I told you the real story behind TPUSA's millions didn't just leak? It erupted? What if I told you the emails blowing up the internet right now don't just raise questions? They practically scream. What was Erika Kirk doing with $15 million? Yeah, $15 million. And while you're letting that number sink in, guess who just launched a sudden rapid response full-scale audit? The IRS, because apparently even they said, hold on. What? Tonight, we're diving into a story so chaotic, so messy, so unbelievably suspicious that even Netflix would reject it for sounding too unrealistic. Erika Kirk, the woman who has somehow become the centerpiece of every conspiracy thread, Twitter meltdown, and late-night political TikTok, is now being linked to a money trail that looks less like financial transparency and more like a scavenger hunt designed by a Bond villain. Leaked emails, secret transactions, anonymous insiders, a $15 million black hole nobody wants to talk about, and an IRS audit that showed up faster than Amazon Prime. Coincidence? Oh, sweetheart. Nothing about this is a coincidence. So buckle up, because what you're about to hear changes everything. So let's start at the very beginning, not the sanitized, PR polished version TPUSA wants you to believe. I'm talking about the actual beginning. The part where the ground was already cracking, the rumors were already bubbling, and the internet was already side-eyeing Erika Kirk like a toddler holding a pair of scissors next to a shredded couch. Because let's be honest, this isn't the first time Erika has found herself in the center of a digital thunderstorm. Oh no. In fact, her entire public timeline reads like a highlight reel of, wait, what did she just say? Moments. People still remember the bizarre post-event speeches, the confusing timelines, the eyebrow-raising Charlie would have wanted this declarations. Statements that sounded less like grief and more like a corporate email written at 3 a.m. while chugging an expired Red Bull. And then, of course, there were the whispers, the subtle but persistent ones. Little murmurs about financial irregularities, mentions of unexplained expenses, and the sudden, meteoric rise of TPUSA's income from a modest few million to a massive tens of millions empire. For months, these were just rumors, background noise, the kind of stuff only hardcore political nerds and Twitter conspiracy junkies cared about. Until now. Because now we have leaked emails. And not the cute kind like, oh look, someone forgot to BCC the office? No, these emails hit the internet like a wrecking ball dipped in gasoline and rolled into a fireworks factory. Subject lines like, approval needed, asset transfer, separate ledger, pending allocation, external project, follow-up, EK clearance required. And my personal favorite, do not forward. Seriously? You might as well write, Dear FBI, please read this in bold at the top. But what really sent everyone into panic mode wasn't the cryptic wording. It was the amounts. Large amounts. Suspicious amounts. Amounts that made even people with zero financial IQ say, wait, that's not normal, right? And sitting right in the middle of these financial gymnastics, like the star player in a circus act nobody asked for, was Erika Kirk. Email after email referenced EK approval, EK channel, EK oversight, or funds moved per EK directive. Every time a large sum of money shifted, her initials appeared like a watermark. And then the cherry on top came the big number. The number that turned this from a small internet fire to a full-blown explosion. $15 million. $15 million that appear in unclassified transfers, external consulting, operational, acceleration, and temporary holding accounts. The kind of vague financial terms that scream, we are absolutely hoping no one ever investigates this. But someone is investigating, because after the leaks dropped, after the screenshots started circulating, after Twitter turned into a live volcano of accusations, guess who showed up? The IRS. Not slowly, not politely, not with a, hey, we'd love to schedule a chat. No. A rapid audit. And when the IRS moves fast, it means one of two things. You forgot to file your taxes and claimed your cat as a dependent. Something stinks so badly that even government, Bureaucracy can't ignore it, and trust me, this situation smells like a dumpster behind a seafood restaurant in July. Now, at this point you might be wondering, how deep does this go? How much did Erika know? Why was her name attached to so many financial movements? Is this incompetence? Or something else entirely? Well, buckle up, because the deeper you go, the worse it gets. Online investigators, the kind who can find someone's home address using a pixel in the corner of a blurry screenshot, immediately jumped on this. Rogue accountants started breaking down the numbers. Political drama addicts began stitching together timelines. Ex-TPUSA volunteers claimed they always knew something was off. And one anonymous insider, we'll get to him later, said the entire financial structure was being held together by duct tape, panic, and blind hope. According to the leaks, the $15 million wasn't just floating around. It was moving rapidly through channels that looked less like normal accounting and more like a treasure map drawn by someone who lost all their crayons halfway through. Every strange transaction led to another strange transaction. Every unexplained expense connected to an even bigger red flag. Every missing document pointed to an even bigger missing document, and everything, every arrow, every note, every confusing financial trail somehow circled back to the same person, Erika, Kirk. And that's where things get even crazier, because these emails don't just implicate her in approvals. No, it's bigger. They imply she had knowledge and authority over transfers that were hidden. Miss LaBelle-Droder in one case, described as non-reportable. Double quotable. Honey, that's accountant language for we hope no one asks. And people are asking now, because this isn't small. This isn't petty cash. This isn't some intern accidentally buying 400 boxes of printer paper. This is millions missing, moving, and recorded in emails that were never supposed to be seen by the public, which brings us to the inevitable question. If this is what leaked, what hasn't leaked yet? And that is where things get truly terrifying, because when insiders finally started talking, the story took an even darker turn. And I don't mean, oh no, someone lost a receipt dark. I mean the kind of dark where even anonymous sources were like, yeah, don't put my name on that. Actually, don't even put my voice on that. Distort me like a crime documentary, thanks. Because once the leaks went public, people who previously zipped their lips tighter than TSA agents at 6 a.m. suddenly had a lot to say. Let's start with insider number one. We'll call him Ledger Ghost. He claimed he worked inside TPUSA's accounting department, or at least near it, or at least near someone who once walked past it. Who knows? Anonymous sources are mysterious like that. Ledger Ghost said the financial system within TPUSA operated like a slot machine with no off button. According to him, money moved constantly, fast, untracked, unexplained, and strangely enough, nobody ever asked questions. Because every time someone did ask questions, guess whose approval magically made the issue go away? Yep, He described a specific file folder. Physical, not digital, labeled special projects, containing spreadsheets nobody was allowed to copy. Each sheet had a code name instead of a normal description. Project Sparrow Northern Sun Revive Vault Red End, one simply called EK Holdings. Now listen, anytime a folder looks like it belongs in a Jason Bourne movie, you know something is wrong, but insider number one wasn't even the spicy one. That honor belongs to insider number two, a woman we'll call Firewall. Firewall claims she worked on the communications side and had access to internal briefings. And her story? Absolutely wild. According to her, when the first financial inconsistencies started appearing, leadership didn't try to fix them. They tried to bury them. She claims there were meetings, closed door, no phones allowed, sign this confidentiality form or leave style meetings, where executives discussed narrative control. And guess who was allegedly always present? Taking notes, approving statements, adjusting messaging? You already know, Firewall said Erika would often say things like optics matter more than details. We control the messaging. Facts are flexible if the mission is clear. Excuse me? Facts are flexible is not something you want to hear from someone whose initials show up next to millions of unexplained dollars. Firewall also mentioned that every time a financial issue popped up, Erika allegedly had the same response: get ahead of it. But the most explosive claim came when Firewall mentioned something called the parallel ledger. According to her, this was a separate internal record, not accessible to the general TPUSA team, that tracked a different set of numbers entirely. And in that ledger, a mysterious $15 million category labeled only as external allocations, EK verified. Now hold up. Not approved by accounting, not reviewed by finance, not pending compliance, no, EK verified. Like Erika had her own private stamp of approval, separate from actual financial oversight. Let that sink in. But if you think that's the craziest part, buckle up. Because here comes insider number 3, the one everyone is calling the whistleblower accountant, or as he describes himself, just a dude who's tired of cleaning up other people's messes. This guy claims he was assigned to reconcile old transactions when he stumbled across something he described as financial spaghetti, the money trail, allegedly zigzagged through 3 nonprofit Stu Consulting FIRMSA faith-based leadership initiative, an international outreach program, and one entity simply listed as EKM Ventures. When he asked what EKM meant, he was told, don't worry about it. It's above your clearance. Above your clearance. Brother, you're an accountant, not a CIA informant. Why do you need clearance to understand where domestic funds are going? And this accountant didn't stop there. He claims that when he tracked transfers connected to EKM, they led to a set of bank accounts overseas, specifically in Malta, Belize, and the Cayman Islands. Now listen. Whenever a political organization's money starts taking beach vacations to offshore havens, something is up. He provided a description of one email he saw, not the full email, just a snippet where someone wrote, routing of remaining allocation must be pushed through the EK channel. No exceptions. Once again, the EK channel. It keeps popping up like an annoying ad you can't skip. And then came the worst part of his statement. He claimed there were multiple sets of books, not one, not two, multiple, one for donors, one for leadership, and one, the smallest, most heavily protected one, that tracked sensitive allocations, nearly all connected to Erika's initials. And when this accountant reported his concerns to his supervisor, he said he was told, do you like your job? Then stop digging. Ladies and gentlemen, if an accountant is being told to stop digging, that means the hole is already deep enough to hit the Earth's core, all of these insiders, without knowing each other, without coordinating, told stories that point to the same disturbing reality. Money didn't just disappear. It was moved, rooted, laundered through jargon, and shielded behind EK's authority. And as the leaks spread, public reaction reached meltdown levels. Twitter turned into a 24/7 cage fight. TikTok teens started making conspiracy edits using eerie background music. Facebook boomers typed in all caps. Reddit created 7 mega threads within an hour. Even LinkedIn, the world's most boring platform, had people posting cryptic concerning leadership comments. The internet was on fire. And Erika? Silent. But inside TPUSA? Panic. Pure panic. Because the moment the IRS arrived, everything changed forever. Because the IRS didn't walk in calmly, they stormed in like they were kicking down the gates of a fortress. And trust me, when the IRS storms in, it's not with smiles, not with coffee, and definitely not with a "hey guys, just checking in." No, they walked in like they were auditioning for a SWAT training video. Clipboards out, badges up, voices stern. The whole "we mean business" energy vibrating off their bodies like static. Electricity. Reports claim they requested 8 years of financial statements. 8 years, that's basically asking for someone's entire financial skeleton and the graveyard it's buried in. One employee allegedly said the room felt 10 degrees colder. Another said she saw an IRS agent look at one document and mutter under his breath, "Oh, That's not good. You never want the IRS to say that's not good. If the IRS says that's not good, you should already be halfway to Mexico. And while they were digging through documents, files, hidden folders, and whatever else TPUSA had stuffed into those metal cabinets they pretend are organized, one thing kept happening. The same three letters kept coming up again and again. EK IRS agents allegedly flagged multiple documents stamped with EK approved a channel routing EK ledger variance. EK oversight, internal only. Internal only? What does that even mean? Why is a political nonprofit using vocabulary that sounds like it belongs in a spy movie? One agent reportedly asked, "Who is EK?" And a staffer answered, "Erika Kirk." Silence. Heavy silence. The kind of silence that says, "Oh boy, we're gonna be here a while." But the IRS wasn't the only storm hitting TPUSA. The public backlash hit even harder. Donors started demanding refunds. Campus chapters started posting cryptic statements. Conservative influencers, normally loyal to TPUSA, began distancing themselves so fast they practically left skid marks. One influencer tweeted, "I stand for transparency. Whatever this is, doesn't feel like that." Another posted, "I defended them for years, but this smells like weak old fish." And then came the big blow. A former TPUSA board member went on a podcast and said, "I warned them. I told them sloppy financials would destroy us." But leadership didn't listen. He didn't mention names. He didn't have to. Everyone knows who leadership meant. Who leadership meant. But all of that was just the beginning, because then the documents went viral. Screenshots from the leak started circulating on Twitter, Reddit, Telegram, TikTok, and even Instagram stories. People began zooming in, analyzing fonts, comparing signatures, and circling phrases like FBI. Profilers studying the Zodiac Killer. Some of the most viral lines included, "Routing must go through EK. This is sensitive, clear with EK first. Record separately. Do not archive in public ledger. Pending EK authorization." Those phrases became memes within hours. People started joking. "Need groceries? Make sure EK authorizes. Want to breathe? Clear with EK." It was chaos. Digital chaos. The kind of chaos even Erika's PR team couldn't control. And oh yes, they tried. They released a bland statement about misinformation campaigns, but the internet wasn't buying it. You can't wave away $15 million like lint on a shirt. Meanwhile, inside TPUSA, executives were reportedly arguing with each other. One source claimed the boardroom meetings were pure meltdown energy. Another insider said people were shredding documents, so fast it sounded like a wood chipper convention. But amidst all the panic, there was one detail that made the entire situation explode into nuclear-level scandal. A leaked internal memo suggesting Erika was being considered for temporary organizational control. Let that sink in. While the organization was allegedly hemorrhaging money, while the IRS was auditing them, while insiders were leaking, while donors were furious. Someone thought the solution was to put Erika in charge? That memo alone created a firestorm, commentators said. This is like asking the arsonist to lead the fire department. This is the plotline of a bad political comedy. Is this real life, or is someone writing satire in real time? And then came the biggest twist of all. A second leak. A new batch of documents. Documents even insiders claim they've never seen before. These new files allegedly show transfers marked immediate EK authorization. Payments labeled non-disclosed allocation. A mysterious ledger line titled EK Initiative Phase 2. And one shocking entry, pending international routing, hold for EK instruction. International routing, that's not normal. That's not even close to normal. People online immediately jump to the worst conclusions. Money laundering, tax evasion, offshore projects, foreign partners. The theory spread faster than the IRS could flip through a binder. By this point, Erika's silence wasn't helping. In PR terms, silence during a scandal is like pouring gasoline on a burning dumpster, and then one final leak hit, the one that turned skepticism into near consensus. An email allegedly from a senior financial officer saying, "Final approval requires EK's direct confirmation. Nothing moves without her." Nothing moves without her. If that's true, even partially true, it means Erika wasn't just aware. She was central, pivotal. The axis, the entire $15 million operation revolved around Dot, and now, with IRS audit fully underway, donors in revolt, insiders leaking like broken faucets, and the public demanding answers, there's no going back. The fire is too big. The evidence too explosive. The question's too heavy, because if Erika Kirk really had her hands on every major financial decision, if these leaked emails are even halfway real, if the $15 million trail really leads where insiders claim, then TPUSA isn't facing a scandal, they're facing a collapse. A collapse with consequences that could shake the entire conservative media landscape, and that's why this story isn't going away. Not today, not tomorrow, not anytime soon. The leaks have spoken. The insiders have spoken. The documents have spoken. Now the only question left is, so now you've seen the emails, the money trail, the insiders panicking, are storming in like it's the season finale of some political drama nobody asked for, and the question becomes, what happens next? Does Erika explain the missing millions? Does TPUSA magically misplace even more cash? Does the IRS drop a report that melts the internet in real time? Is this just the beginning of a much bigger investigation that pulls in more names, more secrets, and way more money than anyone wants to admit? Because let's be honest, this scandal is not slowing down. It's accelerating. Every hour, more leaks, more screenshots, more sources popping up like, hey, I got something too. And trust me, the next wave, it's going to be worse. So here's the deal. If you want the latest leaks before they hit Twitter, if you want the facts before the spin machines kick in, and if you want the truth before it mysteriously disappears, then make sure you like this video. Smash the subscribe button and turn on those notifications like your life depends on it, because this story is far from over. And you're going to want front row seats when the next bomb drops.